Shall. We are shalling. Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, howdy.
Howdy to you.
Howdy
Nice.
to you too.
Nice to be back in virtual land with you guys.
Indeed. Feels good.
Somebody asked me, I can't remember, if it was Sally or somebody was like, how many people watched the video of you guys doing that? And I was like, well, Dawson does. Because she, but I don't know.
I'm the producer.
And
I watch and I listen.
And I happen
so
to know Kathy does, yeah. So
Oh, does she watch the video?
Does, yay!
We're up to two,
and
yeah.
Megan Solomon watches too. She sends me screenshots every week.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's good. That's
like
way
last week. She sent me a screenshot and she's like, "Hey, I have muscle relaxers too. If Jonas wants some."
God, apparently we're like Silk Road. We just mentioned what freaking pills we need, but I like that concept. It's like,
I do too. It's kind of fun.
Fuck Patreon pills, baby, and I like it.
I got an oddly large amount of Valium for this last surgery as well. So,
okay.
So that'll be on eBay pretty soon because I don't think I need them. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
I like that you were like. It's nice to be like impressed by a prescription. You're like, oh shit, like this doctor is really shitty, or he trusts me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think this doctor actually felt bad about botching the surgery the first time, and so
it was his way of making.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, you want some OxyContin?" And I'm like, "You don't mean Kodo?" And he's like, "No, you take them both at the same time." I'm like, "What is happening here?" I was like, "Okay, all right, well, appreciate it." I still have one. I'm saving it for. I don't know what I'm saving it for.
The eclipse. You should save it for the eclipse.
That's what I was thinking.
Wow, that'd be
eclipse,
fun.
Actually, that's what I was thinking about. Okay. All right. Yeah. Anyway, it's stored in the safe here in the house. So.
A very tiny pill safe.
I
like that. I want to see it. Yeah. Yeah.
Someday it'll be on Antiques Roadshow. Me and my little pill
Cannot
cave.
wait. Tyson, honestly, I was actually watching Antiques Roadshow because I finally downloaded the PBS app. And I get it. Like, I understand why you like it, but I cannot wait until you're on that show someday. That is going to be fucking hilarious.
It is so hard to get on. It's funny because they interview people, at the end of the show, and they're like, the feedback booth or whatever.
Yeah.
And not half, but I would say at least 20% of it, like, this is our fourth time. We finally came here with something that actually was worth something. So I think it is kind of hard to get tickets, but you get to bring 2 items. So Beth and I have already picked out our stuff. So we'll be looking into it. But they're for those who are curious, they're showing new episodes. They started January 2nd or something like that. So for the next, I don't know, 10 weeks, they're all brand new. So they had to take a huge break during COVID. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've been
how many seasons have they done? Like, that show seems like it's been on
a good question.
At least since like the early 2000s, late 90s.
It's 30 plus. It's 30
okay. Wow.
Holy shit! Wow.
Now in the UK version is like 45 plus. It's like,
oh, that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's another channel that we have. We can watch that. The problem the thing I don't like about that show, but Beth loves it about the show, is that I was like, they have stuff from like 1400s, 1300s. They basically have stuff that would never ever be in the United States. So there's no way
older than our fucking country. Yeah,
exactly. So it's less interesting to me. It's like, Lord Byron took a shit in this toilet. Here it is, like, or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, but but in the Americas, you'd be like, oh, that kind of looks like a plate that my grandma had, kind of shit, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad you get it because it is kind of fun. It's also fun when people ruin their own stuff. They repaint it or whatever, and then they've.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh,
but I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, it's like, people will be like, if you just didn't try to refinish this, it'd be worth $1 million. But now, as it stands right now, it's about $2,200.
I think this is like I think I gotta carry this like wave into like Pawn Stars. Like I've always loved Pawn Stars, like as fake
Me
and as
too.
but
Pawn Stars is
I
great.
love that show because it's like like the same kind of, you get a little bit of history in there, you get a little
Yeah.
negotiation. It's also just kind of, you just see like random crap, and there's also like the always seeing the joy in seeing someone who thinks something is worth a ton of money and then
It
it
is
not
not.
be. It is
Yeah,
not.
it's
So
Oh
there
yeah,
not.
is
the
Yeah.
deflation that
that
happens is
is
beautiful.
enthralling.
Yeah.
No, I do love that as a concept in a television show.
I do
But
like
Me too.
I do like Pawn Stars, and I even kind of will occasionally watch that what is it, storage unit show where you buy a storage unit and
oh,
you know
the Storage Wars, I
Storage
believe.
yeah, whatever.
Wars.
Right,
Yep,
right.
that's another one. All
But
of
the
them.
but
The
the best
only casualty is the viewer. Go
yeah
ahead.
exactly that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
True.
But there's but the thing I like about Antiques Roadshow is it's not scripted, so they don't know, like they
Right,
Right,
really have
right.
no
absolutely. Oh,
idea.
absolutely,
So
absolutely, yeah.
so like I was watching the new one. The last 3 episodes have been in Alaska, and I was watching one last night, and the guy was like, she was like, "You can insure this for $3,000. You could probably get $1,200, or a retail setting, whatever." And you could just tell the guy was so mad, but he wasn't letting on.
See,
Like
that's the shit I love.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah,
You have to
that's
I
so
want to
maintain
see them
composure.
yell
Yeah.
at whoever is saying like this is how much it's
Right.
worth
Right.
and just watch it play out.
Now,
That's all.
do people actually get mad on the Antiques Roadshow?
Oh
Like that's
yeah,
what I'm curious.
They
Oh, they
have
do.
to,
Okay,
right?
oh
okay.
Yeah.
oh I watched one of my favorites was this woman. She brought this big punch bowl, and she's like, "This is for my husband's family. We're divorced now, but when his grandmother died, we split up all the stuff. They told me this was a very valuable item." And she's like, and the appraiser was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's worth about $200. She was looking at like 30 or
Fucking
40
yes.
grand,
Yeah.
and her face was like those fucking assholes, like it was just like. So not only did they screw her in the inheritance, they screwed her by putting her on TV, and this
Yeah.
is and I will say that this woman argued with everyone, because there's a layer of like people you come and show your stuff to, then they show it to somebody else, and if it's really interesting, they put it on the air. This woman had
Right.
clearly argued her way to the top, so she would get, so she
So they
humiliated.
tried to
I want
warn
to
her.
watch
They
that.
tried to
Yeah.
warn her. They're like
They
tried to
did.
Yeah.
tried to warn
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
She had to get humiliated in front of the nation, because
Sometimes that's what it takes, Dyson.
Yeah. I
I,
respect that.
I
Yeah.
was like, this fucking Karen, what the fuck? I mean, I was like, what a
Yep.
nightmare to deal with this woman.
Fuck
Um,
that.
And
well,
that's like mostly the lunatics they're dealing with, right? Like for
well,
whatever real vase they found, I'm sure there's 99 just people that they otherwise probably didn't want to deal. But they've got
For
screeners, it
sure.
sounds like. So
but I don't know. The thing that's different really for this show is that people really love the show, so it's like a lifelong ambition to be on it. So even if their shit isn't worth anything, they're just happy, to be there, unless they really think they've got something very special and it turns out to be fake. I'll tell you, one of the funniest things I saw there ever was this guy was like, he had brought in this trumpet, and it was made of like some kind of weird alloy that's not usual, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I got this trumpet from my grandfather, blah blah, and the guy's like, "Well, I'll tell you what it's worth," and he's like, "It doesn't matter, it's not for sale," and he goes, "Yeah, it's worth 60 grand," and then immediately the guy goes, "It's for sale." Immediately, and you could hear his buddy laughing.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway,
fucking
that's just
hilarious.
yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's
That's the magic. I'm into it. Yeah.
Yes.
me too.
Yeah. Yeah. And plug. I forget about the PBS app, but it is if you have not tried it, it's actually quite cool. Like
It's
they have a
excellent. Yeah.
ton of content.
Yeah.
It's got all the Ken Burns documentaries on it.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to get through in the evenings while I'm working.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ken Burns. But yeah, I love it.
And
It's great.
I was a huge Frontline fan for years. The
Yeah.
documentary
Yep.
show Frontline, they've got
Yep.
that almost all of that. At least the last time I looked. But yeah, no, it's a, and all you have to do is donate to your local
That's all.
PBS affiliate.
That's all.
Yeah,
Right.
we do $5 a month, and that's cheaper than
It
Netflix or whatever.
absolutely is.
And they have tons of content. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's pretty good. Sorry, we got way off. There's going to be a point sometime in the near future where my parents are going to have to move to a smaller unit, and we're going to have to decide who gets what stuff. And
Mhm.
I'm not looking forward to that. That's
No. Do you actually like? Because I don't know that like I mean, they probably have like a few like older, like maybe like got some like nice older furniture, but I wouldn't describe it as like antiquities or like because I don't know we didn't get any of that stuff. Like
okay.
there's like my grandparents didn't have that stuff
Yeah,
really.
no, I mean,
We
basically,
have some of that stuff.
we have a bunch of stuff that's goes back 4 or 5 generations. But
Yeah.
this is what I've learned from watching. If you weren't rich 5 generations ago, you bought the cheapest, nicest thing that you could find, and it's worth jack now. Because if you were a Rockefeller and you bought it 5 generations ago, it's worth a shit ton of money
Shit
Right,
nowadays.
ton of money. Yeah.
right.
But this is all stuff that like they
Yeah.
got it.
So there really has
Whatever
been
they.
like the IKEA equivalent for millennia.
It's, yeah,
Sort of, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
yeah.
I,
So I
I
mean,
I think there was this antique chair that my mom had gotten, and it had come from like generations and generations. And mom, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it came from Sweden. I'm under the impression that it might have, but she was so happy to get it. And then this was when we were growing up. My parents were still together, and my dad's dog Sadie ate it. Literally ate the fucking shit out of it. And I vividly remember the fumes. There were literal fumes coming off of my mother's head. She was so upset. God. Sorry, mom. Sorry to bring back those memories. It was not good.
was it like a wicker chair? Did he eat the wicker? Like I'm trying to figure
No,
out
it was like I mean, like custom made wood, like this amazing fabric, like ate the fabric, ate the wood, like whatever that dog could eat,
how
it was
it ate.
done. There, you couldn't patch that up. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
rough. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, like when you inherit that stuff from your parents or the grandparents or whatever, it's probably not worth anything. But you just go for the aesthetic view, right? So you're just like, I like the way that looks,
Yeah,
and
and
so
it may not have been worth anything, but it was a beautiful chair. Like I remember being a kid and being like, "Damn, I don't know where we're gonna put that in the house because it's like the nicest thing."
it's the nicest thing in our house.
Sorry to my parents, but really, yeah, not a great story to tell.
Did any of you guys read this article that was put out a couple of days ago, and it was about how modern furniture basically falls apart in like 3 years, and so like even a three
Oh
thousand dollar
fuck.
couch will fall apart because they use particle board instead of actual wood, and
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
all this shit. And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna suck.
Do you guys have a lot of modern furniture? Because we do.
We
A lot.
I mean we don't we I mean after the fire everything we have has been donated to our house, so we have some nice furniture that I think my parents, I'm pretty sure they bought theirs at a furniture store. But even that's a little goofy, a little bit nowadays, because they're making like disposable fashion out of furniture. So it's like a
Right.
H&M sort of model, which is
Yeah.
it's not great. It's not good. But we don't really have. I had a lot of antique stuff, antique furniture in my townhouse. You guys remember being a townhouse?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of that stuff that I had taken from my grandparents. But yeah, no, that all either got lost in the fire or it fell apart. I don't know.
Fucking A. Yeah.
Yeah, but
My my favorite of that was I don't know if it was the same time, but when you got the was like the disco light vinyl setup that was then you get like some sort of like bar
you're talking
slash
about the bar. Yeah,
yes, the
yeah,
bar. That's what it was.
yeah.
Yes.
My dad actually, yeah. So you saw it. It got donated, I think, to the American Legion in Waukene. But basically, because I couldn't put it
Amazing.
anywhere. By
Things
the
have
way,
never been the
it
same.
it was made it was made of solid wood, and basically what it was it was straight out of 1969, and it had a record player and a little receiver in the back of the bar, and it was a full bar, and then in the front it
Oh, I
had.
remember that.
You remember this?
Yeah.
It had like
Yeah.
it had lattice like uh decorations over this red velvet, and then
Yeah.
you could sync it up to lights, and so it would like flash depending on what the music was. Also had an 8-track player, very important. I shouldn't
Yeah.
forget that. It was cutting edge at the time, but yeah, no, we just didn't have room for it, and I was like, I hated to give it up, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, What are you gonna do? It was heavier than the
We
pool.
should certainly ask the American Legion what they've.
That's what I'm
It should,
saying.
yeah. Like that's a good, because how long is that an organization and all that? Sorry. Anyway,
Oh, God, the truth.
I do remember that it was heavier than the pool table. Getting it up the
Oh
stairs out of my
damn!
grandparents'
Wow,
house.
that's
Ooh,
That
crazy.
gives you an idea how heavy the
Wow.
fucking thing was.
yeah.
Anyway, um, yeah. So it's getting warmer, right? So that's good. We had crazy fog here
We
yesterday
have
and
two.
today.
Like I've never seen
Crazy
fog.
fog?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
we have two. Yeah, just it's never like this, and it's just been
No.
like this for the
Weird.
last like 4 days probably. It's just like it just hangs there like
Yeah, it's just weird.
unwelcome guest. Yes, just
Again, the full moon, I'm telling you.
and the full moon and the full moon. It's basically Teen Wolf 3.
It does it with the fog and the full moon. It's like stepping outside into a lit outside. I mean, it's just weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got that. It feels dramatic.
It
It's very
does. It does.
dramatic. It's
A
very
little
dramatic.
bit. A
The,
little
Very
bit.
the
dramatic. Yeah.
moors of
Yeah.
Scotland. There's
Yeah.
probably
But it's
something
not
going
I mean, like it's amazing how great 42 degrees feels after like the last
Right?
couple
Oh
of
on. Oh
days.
my
my
god!
God. After
It's like
being like
right.
in the negatives in the lower digits, it's just like yeah, same. I went
Yeah.
out to the gym, what was it, last week, and it was like 32, and I almost skipped to the gym because I was so fucking happy that I wasn't seeing my breath
Yeah.
for the first time outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Amazing.
Yeah. Mother Nature's a withholding bitch sometimes.
She really is.
it does, though. 38 degrees felt balmy compared to like what you're saying. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now in the 40s this week, like 50s a little bit. Oh,
No, I know.
heaven,
It's like I
heaven.
know
Yeah.
exactly. It's that
Yeah.
abuse, that long
It
abuse that
is
they're
a
just like,
long abuse,
that
right? When
wasn't
you're,
that bad. Like we're complaining, and yet like it
Yeah,
was a very mild winter. So
it
like I
was. Yeah,
forget, like because I'm pretty sure that
I
like when I was in
know.
high school, like I
Oh,
remember it
it was
being
the
like below
worst.
zero all the time.
yeah,
Like that's what I don't get about like the whole climate. Like no, literally, I know it's just me, but I remember it being like below zero. I remember scraping my windshield like
yeah,
how
Hating that.
many times I
Oh,
did. Like used to do that all the time, and now it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
2 weeks, and we're like, oh god,
yeah. It's supposed to be 60 here next Thursday.
exactly.
I'm like, what the shit?
Fucking A.
You
What is
know,
that? Yeah.
I don't know. That first year that Kalis went live, Matt, when we were working in Topeka, that was a very cold year.
It
I
was a
mean,
terrible winter. Yeah. Oh my god.
it was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. Within that like couple of years too, we also had like the 100. Remember, we had like a week of like 115-degree heat, which like
Yeah,
yeah.
not a red flag, everybody. Don't worry, everything's fine.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It was
Kansas should be just the middle of weather experimentation. Like, what can we throw at these folks
It really
until
is.
they move?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they did say, I mean, a couple years ago it was 80 degrees and then it was snowing the next day. Like, yeah, I mean, I was like,
It's
no,
crazy.
it
It's
is. It
crazy.
is. It's not correct. Let me just put it that way.
It's not correct.
It's not.
It feels like it's going as well as everything else is going right now. So,
Speaking of
Yeah.
headlines,
yeah.
That's a good segue.
Nice.
Just get right into it.
Nice.
You guys ready for it?
Wow, we've been born
Here
ready.
we go. Headline of the week.
okay. Before I get into my headlines, I'm just going to do a very just over the top, slight rant. Matthew and I love the primaries. We love the debates. We love all the build up to it. It's the best sports in the world. It's way more exciting than because somebody could ruin their career with a stupid,
Right.
for example, yep. What was the guy from Texas, Rich or Rick?
Rick. Rick Scott. Rick Scott.
No,
Rick Scott?
no,
Yeah.
it was not.
I don't want to defame the wrong Republican here. I want to make sure we get it correct. So I
He
appreciate
was asked, what three, agencies he would, cut taxes or funding for, and he got to two, and he couldn't remember the third, and basically at that point he was completely gone as a candidate. He even
Well,
knew it himself.
And then who was and I'm only repeating this phrase because I'm not exactly sure how it's written, but the macaca thing. Do you remember like somebody said the word like he's my friend, and he's like, it was like some, like, and he called him macaca. I thought that was, but it could be another
No, yeah,
blunder. Anyway,
yeah. Rick Perry, that was his
Rick
name.
Perry. That's
Yeah,
who I was trying to think of. Yes, you can
yeah.
just stick my Ricks in line.
Rick Scott's a whole different
That's true.
terrible
Yeah.
creature. Anyway, so everybody dropped out except Haley, and Trump. I would say barely won. Whatever. It's just so boring. There should be like 5 more people still running, and they're not. And it's also, I don't know. Did you guys know that there was a guy running for the president in those caucuses for the Democrats? I don't know if you caught any of
I
that.
didn't, but I heard about it
I
on
did.
NPR,
It's
and I'm
actually
like, wow, what the
it's
fuck?
two. It's that guy and then Marianne Williamson, who you may remember her from Crazy Town 2015
Oh,
because she also ran, and she was like a self-help guru.
Yeah, she's
I
from
mean,
Hawaii, right?
Oh,
yeah, like if she was
right.
Yeah.
more
Okay.
successful, she'd probably have a Netflix series made about her. But but no, but she's like a and so she's also running. And then that was actually kind of the interesting thing about New Hampshire is Biden actually beat both of them as in a write-in campaign.
Yeah,
Which like that means like Democrats got out of the House to go right in against them.
Yeah.
So it was actually that was kind of one twist on that story I heard is that was actually kind of
That's kind of heartening a little bit,
it
right?
was positivity. God damn it, it was
Yeah.
It
positivity, and
was.
yeah,
But now this lady, the self-help guru, didn't she run as a Republican last time? Is she, am I wrong?
No, I thought she. Well, you might be right. I
I
don't
don't.
remember. I don't want to. Yeah,
She's not great. Let me put it
no,
that way.
she's not. She's not great. No,
No.
she's not. She's not good.
And and none of these. Sorry to the people of Iowa and New Hampshire, but you're not the pulse of America, so we should just skip
No.
both of those completely. I mean, I've met some people from New Hampshire when I was doing work in the uh, in the legislative software business, and they're all kind of the same. They are literally live free or die people. So it's like it's just a weird. I don't know. I don't trust anything until South Carolina. Then that's they got a lot of people there. It's a diverse state. Anyway,
Well,
done
Nikki
with.
Haley is the former governor of South
And
Carolina, and
I
so
don't know that she'll win. That's
and I don't think
I
and
don't either.
as much as everyone says I mean, like, for Christ's sakes, like, I mean, DeSantis was 2 days before he can't pulled out, which that's news people haven't heard. Ron DeSantis will
yeah.
not be your president this
No.
year.
R.I.P.
But like he was saying up to 2 days up until Iowa, like, oh, we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley's in the same boat. Like, they're leaving
For
their
sure.
options open.
Yeah.
She'll. I have to. Is South Carolina next? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I cannot see. Well, and even I just saw right before the podcast, the RNC or somebody released a statement about they're going forward with a resolution to just go ahead and make Donald Trump the nominee.
Oh, really?
Basically forego the rest of
Yeah. Just forget
the
about
campaign process.
Super Tuesday
So
or
I think
whatever.
that is like, what, and like, I don't want to but the Republican Party is dead. Like, we've known that for a while. It's Donald Trump's party. It is whatever. I mean, it's gone. And so, and
Yeah.
when the RNC's even caving and said, well, no, we'll just now. Like, and I get the whole, like, but it's looked for months like this was going to happen. Like, the polls are basically
Right.
playing out exactly the same way. So I don't know.
I'd like to see her hang in until Super Tuesday. I still think this after Super Tuesday. I just have this feeling that Biden's going to drop out of the race, and they're gonna go to the convention and elect somebody to go against him. And I think that's how. But the other thing that I can see is that they'll just completely Jack. Sorry, that's probably not the right word. Completely back Biden because he beat Trump once, right?
Right.
So like he
Mm-hmm.
could probably do it again, even though he looks like he's lost at a supermarket after going to a huge Botox session. He looks completely weird now. He looks like one of those puppets from the Phil Collins video. Not, not a good look, buddy. You know.
The land of confusion.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
It's not good. Yeah, and
Fucking hilarious
it
and
does look
sad.
like he's had face work done. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would allow people to put Botox in him. But I also saw him on New Year's Eve, and his wife was basically translating for him because they interviewed both of them. And
That's
anyway,
what you said. No,
yeah,
he looks very different from years ago. He's
uh,
had work done.
he was a great vice president. He has been a pretty good president. I mean, all these things that people talk about, we're not in a recession. Employment rates are up. All the
Yeah,
indicators are
yeah,
good. People just don't want to hear that, so they're just like,
right,
"Fucking no, it's
right,
terrible."
right.
Yeah.
I did order that Joe Biden lawn thing though that I sent you
Oh,
guys.
you did?
Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Excellent.
awesome.
it was
Very
20.
cool.
It was $25. I was like, "Fuck it, it's tax write off."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I'm actually got like I'm glad I have like a beta tester for this idea. I want to see like if it sticks around, if you like how it does in your neighborhood. And
It
I'd like
won't.
to.
It won't go in
Yeah.
the neighborhood. I live in fucking. I live in no. It's. I live in the reddest block of a blue town. I don't want to, and I don't want to see other people put signs up in there. Like I
That's
think
true.
I've told you, like down the street, there's one house that says Black Lives Matter, and they got the sign up, and then the next house out, the very next house is like Police Lives Matter. I mean, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want. Let's
Yeah.
just
Don't
shut
get
this down.
involved with it.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
right, yeah.
probably right. You're probably right. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna hang it up downstairs. That's just. I think
There you go.
I
Yeah.
it'll look.
live in a very liberal area, so I might be able to like. There's like
I'm telling you, if I thought that I lived, it would be a great thing to put out because it's hilarious. First off, it's double sided.
I know.
So one side you see the red coming out of sunglasses, and the other one he's full on Palpatine. So it's pretty great. Uh, anyway, you can find that at your Democratic headquarters. Just look it up. $25 for one of the goofiest fucking things you'll ever buy.
It's a good idea. It's a good
Uh,
idea. The smartest thing I've seen the Democrats do in quite a long time.
A
So
long
yeah,
time. Yeah.
long time.
actually, yeah, and that started with when they just accepted Dark Brandon, which I think is excellent.
Yep.
Okay, so this is from Vanity Fair. We all watched the game last week. So we did see that Jason Kelsey took his shirt off and was drinking a Bud Light. And
Fucking love that man.
I don't know if it was the full size can of Bud Light, but if it was, his hands are huge. He's a monster of a guy. And anyway, so this is from Vanity Fair. Uh, Shirting the issue. Isn't that cute? Jason Kelsey was told to be on his quote best behavior to meet Taylor Swift. So he hadn't met her yet. Travis Kelsey's brother entered the Chiefs VIP box with 2 shirts and a fleece. He left with none.
I love
But
that man. I
I did.
can't get enough of it.
I
So
did.
funny.
I did too. Yeah,
Did
he's a.
you see Tice or Smith like what his daughter had said? Because she saw him on television. They were watching the game.
Oh, Dad's. Yeah.
No.
What was it? I remember. I
And
can't remember. Yeah.
what her name's Kylie, his wife, right?
Yeah.
Kylie,
Yeah.
is that his name or her name? Her mom was watching the girls, and his oldest asked her grandma, "Why is Daddy showing his boobies?"
Apparently
Fucking great.
he jumped out of that window and got into the crowd and hung out with the people and
Oh
like
yeah,
Oh, I
jumped
didn't.
back in. I mean, I
he
was
was
like,
talking about it on their New Heights podcast. He wanted to join the how did he put it? The Bills Mafia or whatever.
God,
Because you said that Tyson, our group chat,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a Buffalo Bills thing, which I wasn't aware of.
it's a crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
they are dedicated up there. It's a crazy. I mean, there's more hypothermia. I think there's more lost nipples because of coldness in Buffalo, New York, than any other place in the world. Maybe Siberia. I'm not sure,
Sounds
but
right.
at least people in Siberia keep their clothes on. But in New York, or in Buffalo, it's gotta take that shirt off. You gotta show true
whip it
support.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
those big Yetis out there.
Uh,
You know what I didn't like about that game? How they were throwing snowballs at the Chiefs.
they
Oh, I
do
didn't
That
that.
hear
was a
about
little
this.
stupid.
I didn't hear about
Yeah.
this. No.
Yeah,
No.
after the game, just Patrick Mahomes was like giving high fives and they were throwing fucking snowballs at him, and he like stopped because he was getting pelted.
Well, you see that sometimes, and I've seen it before, and I've actually seen it interfere with a play that they had to redo the play because a snowball
Oh,
came in.
no shit.
But
Wow.
if you remember, they actually it was the stadium was covered in snow, so they got people to volunteers. They paid $20 an hour.
I did see that. Yeah.
If they come and just shovel
Shovel.
the snow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the
Wow.
video. They had this sort of like a runway for snow. It was kind of built like a bobsledding course, but it was just straight. And I saw two different uh, not TikTok, but Twitter videos of some dude taking his shirt off and riding down the sleigh, circling his like a fucking cowboy. I
I
was like,
love it.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, those guys are great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so this is from NBC News. Rat-shaped hole brings chaos to Chicago street, tormenting neighbors. So I don't know if you've heard about this. It's very weird. The internet loves the so-called Chicago rat hole, but the hole's neighbors describe late night parties, crowds, and even a wedding in front of their house. Anyway, I'm going to show you what it looks like. That's a hole in the sidewalk where it looks like a rat. It's filled up with snow, right?
Whoa.
So, anyway, this is not really news, but there's a quote in here from the neighbor, and I'm based on this quote. I'm going to guess she's 102 years old. So there you go. I told
Okay.
someone it felt like living on Bourbon Street in New Orleans because people were out there drinking, yelling, playing music, and taking pictures of drugs on the ground next to the rat hole for clout. Okay, people don't do that. People don't take their illicit drugs and put it next to something and take a picture of it. Sorry. You know, I was just like, what do you think you saw, Gladys Kravitz? I have no idea. Sorry, that was for my parents. Um, and this is her other quote. She's like, I know they're having fun, but I don't want to be anyone's party pooper, but also get off my stoop. This is my house. I'm just trying to have a quiet weekend at home, and this is a residential area. And then she
Ah,
grabbed her walker and walked right back into her house. So that's not in the thing.
damn
Anyway,
the man, girl. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I do like the idea that the rat hole is so prevalent, I guess, in Chicago that people are having wedding services next to it. I don't know. Seems very strange.
It's pretty gross. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a lot of headlines. This is the last one. I don't even know if it's show worthy, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about it anyway because I just want you to think about what you would do if this happened to you. Okay.
I like
Okay.
this. I like this game.
So San Antonio Express News: Austin, Texas homeowner finds mysterious tiny home on his property and a person living inside. So this dude had a shed delivered to his house. He thought it was an accident. He thought, oh, they put it in the wrong place. Uh, and so she called the company, and the company's like, no, that's where it's supposed to be. But she had ring cameras and whatever, and she
Uh
noticed
huh.
several days later that someone was coming in and out of the house and living there. So, so anyway, she called the
I
cops.
love that.
Cops don't know what to do about this. This is not really a law, by the way. Like like you don't know what to do.
Wow.
Like so, they didn't kick him out because it was freezing in Texas, and so I assume freezing for Texas
Yeah.
is like 82. I don't know. Anyway,
Isaac, hey, after living there for 8 years, it does get cold, sir.
so anyway,
You watch your mouth.
I saw the footage. I know. Anyway, okay. So anyway, they Lone Star Portables, who's the people that did it, they it's reviewing its internal processes to determine how this happened, and they did find a temporary place for the man to keep his shed. So,
That's
That's
nice.
nice.
and this is the end of it, which pretty much like wraps everything in a nice bow. The identity of the man has not been revealed, but KXAN reported that mental health organization Integral Care has been put in contact to provide support. So, anyway, what would you do if a tiny house appeared in your backyard one day and I mean, I would probably be like, oh, free shed, but for this you know how like sometimes one time we got delivered a purse that was a Coach purse, and we didn't send it back because you don't have to send stuff back if it goes to the wrong house. But that
Yeah.
was like a $350 purse that you know
It's
Beth
not bad. Works
Beth got
out.
to get. I'm thinking
A house
Shannon,
is a little bit different from a
I
purse.
don't know. I don't know. They'd already
Saying.
gone. They'd already left. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, but they did. She did. He did call the cops. So anyway. Oh, and one more thing. So Dawson sent me this TikTok about a guy in Kansas
Oh,
City
yeah.
who had three of his buddies to watch the San Diego, or I guess the LA Charge. It was the Chargers and the Chiefs, and the three of the guys went out back and died in the snow. They just died. She sent me this clip, and I was like, "This smells like bullshit." But everything in Kansas City is all about this right now. They're like, they haven't charged
Well,
anybody.
it was all over TikTok like 2 weeks ago, and then you were like, "I haven't heard anything," which I'm not surprised about, and now it's all coming out.
Yeah, to be honest with you, we don't. This is a weird delay here in town, so no one gets too wound up. Like we
Yeah,
are.
sure.
We also are the epicenter of like homicides every year. But anyway,
Yeah.
these three guys went out back, apparently locked themselves out of the house, and died. They froze to death. Guy who lives in the house didn't notice that they were in the backyard dead. It was
Bullshit.
it was 2 days later. The cops came because the three guys' cars were still in his driveway, and so that's another thing of like he didn't notice that there are three cars in his driveway. I mean, and
Yeah.
his house looks
Hmm.
exactly like my house. It's
It
about the
does
same
look very
size.
similar. Yeah,
So
I
I
wasn't
mean,
gonna say that, but I was like, "Ugh."
so anyway, like he's not been charged with anything. They don't know what happened to the kids. Apparently, there was a fifth person there, but they left before any of this stuff went down. The guy said, "Look, I go to sleep. I turn the fan on. I put headphones in. I'm not listening." But I would
Ew.
think I would notice the next day if there were three cars still in my driveway.
If there were 3 cars in your driveway and 3 popsicles in your freaking backyard.
Well, even I don't
Human
know. I
popsicles.
don't know that I would go directly to the backyard to look. I mean, obviously we have dogs, so that's a little bit of thing. But I mean, if you didn't have a dog, I don't know that I'd be like, oh, they all Ubered home because they were too drunk or
I mean,
something
yeah,
like
I
that.
could kind of see that because
Okay,
how long
that's
was he there?
yeah,
Like 2 days? Two
Yeah, it
days?
was 2
2
days,
days.
and apparently, so I read this article
Uh,
earlier today, and it was like, what do we know? Well, we don't know very much. No
What
one's
do we
been
know?
no, no one's
a
been
whole hell of a
We don't.
yeah.
no one's been charged. The guy when the police came, he was like, "Yeah, search everything. It's fine. You can go look around, whatever." And then he was just as surprised as the cops were. There were three dead bodies in the backyard. So, and these guys have been friends
I
since
mean,
high
speaking of pills, were they popping some of your pills, Tice? Like,
school.
what happened?
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Joking. I'm
They,
not making any ties. Tyson did not give them any pills, people.
I didn't. I can't afford to. But the thing is, it was so weird because okay, so the sister of one of the guys. Okay, let me go. Let me back up. These guys have been friends since like middle school. So the fact it wasn't like this weird
Yeah, and there's
random
no
thing.
friction, right? Like good
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Yeah,
like they've
okay.
been friends forever, and they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like in
yeah.
their late 30s. They still work together, stuff. So
Yeah.
s- something weird happened. They could have been dosed, or I don't know. But also they had to make the decision to go out back for some reason, and I
That's
don't know.
what's. Did they determine that they actually died of
They
what?
haven't released the toxicology report yet because it's not
Okay.
it's not done. So
Okay.
so they don't
When
know.
will that be available?
Well, stay tuned. I'll give you an update
I
next
like
week.
this. This is
This
mysterious.
is John Investigates. This is literally
Yeah.
like one of the first ones.
I think we should
I'm
do that.
into it.
This is a big. We need to give it a name. We need to think of a good like catchy name for this,
Mm,
like the Kansas City something or
we could we
the
call it the
Backdoor Boys or the I
oh
don't
yeah
know
oh
what
yeah
would
the Chiefs people sickles or something like that. I don't know.
People Sickle. Oh, I like People Sickle.
People sickle.
Oh, I like
That's
People
nice.
Sickle.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It might be a little insensitive to the
Might
victims.
be. I mean, anyway, I do also
Workshop
like this.
it. Yeah.
Like people,
Might
yeah,
be.
that's all right. We'll ponder on.
Is it
I'll
bad
make
that
it.
I'm thinking of t-shirts?
No, I don't think so. Unless something
Well,
terrible,
we're not making t-shirts. I'm terrible.
unless something terrible comes out of this thing.
No, I think it's just a very strange story.
This
It
is very
is.
Um,
It's
strange.
weird,
yeah.
and the weird thing is that like it started dominating my phone's headphones or headlines, So like
It did. Okay.
it's spreading across this story. There's also this other story, and I don't know very much about it, but it's been radio silence since this guy was reported dead. But there's this place called Jericho uh, Building, and they go into houses, they rehab stuff, and
Mhm.
I've heard this guy on the radio. I've seen him on TV. He's like, we named it Jericho because Jericho is, in the Bible. He did the best he could do with blah blah blah, and came through. And he's like, and so we are a Christ-loving family or business or whatever. And he was killed 2 weeks ago at one of the shadiest fucking intersections in Kansas City at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Hmm.
So they're
Hmm.
not releasing any information. They haven't released any information yet, but it sounds like a drug deal gone bad or a prostitution thing gone bad, I assume. But,
Maybe.
but
Yeah.
it's funny because they're still running those commercials, although they have taken them off the commercials. So, I mean, these guys have a huge
Oh.
media presence in
Right.
Kansas City, radio, television.
Right.
And so, anyway, I as soon as I get some information on that, I'll let you know. But I mean, it can't be good. It can't be good. So,
Ruh-roh.
yeah, Beth was like, "Do you know where the corner of blah 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 blah?" I was like, "No." She's like, "That's not a place you want to be at 2 a.m. Sunday
Yeah.
morning."
Yeah.
Noted.
All right,
Not
and
happening.
those are my headlines. All right.
Hey.
It's
Hey,
good, Tice.
thanks, guys.
Keep us posted on those KC murders.
Absolutely. Yes. We're
Yeah.
going you're in the you're in the line. So
Yeah,
let us know what
I'm
people are saying out in
first
public.
first line of
Smith.
defense. Yep.
I'm
What do you have, buddy?
I have a few just kind of random ones. It's kind of a weird week news wise.
It
But
was.
this was something that I've just been noticing, and it's really just the headline more than anything that I wanted to mention. But woman arrested for allegedly stealing $2,500 worth of Stanley cups, police say. Do
Oh,
you
I
guys know
saw
what the
this.
hell is going on with this thing?
I do.
I just like this is like one. It's like one
Can
of
you
those things like when I
explain it?
yeah, because it's like when I like it just seems like it's like when you like learn a new word and it's like you just like recognize that word like all the time and you're like, oh, I
Here.
hear this
Uh,
story just went everywhere and I've heard nothing of it. So please explain this to the people,
okay.
Tyson,
Okay.
because I
So for Christmas, uh, best husband. That's me. Best brother. And his
congratulations.
Go
wife
on.
and his wife and their kids came over. Their kids are 13 and like 10. And
Okay.
every one of them had one of those giant fucking Stanley cups. Like, Staley cups. I thought they were Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley. There's Stanley
It's
cups.
like the thing that makes like hammers
Yetis.
and shit. Like yeah,
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like
like
a
yeah.
like a
yeah.
hardware
There's a
manufacturer.
100 different types of those. We have several of those. They're not Stanleys, but Stanleys for some reason are like a foot tall. They look more like a. They look literally
They're
more like.
huge.
Yeah, they look like an award that's given to somebody for something.
Okay.
But they're huge, and they brought them over, and they all had one except for Chris. But every one of them had this giant thing of water,
So what's
and
the allure?
it's no, as far as I can tell, it is just a fucking fad that is propagated through TikTok. Whoever's still
Oh,
watching
okay.
Facebook, Instagram. I read a story where they
Are
offered.
they indestructible? Is that part of
They're,
the
no, they're just like any other
I think they've
cup.
been around since like the 20s too, or like it's not
Yeah,
like anything new. But apparently
Yeah,
they
it's not anything new, right?
do
well, they're
like
Okay.
doing.
they do like special editions and
Yeah, they
like
do like
Yeah.
limited edition colors, like and stuff like
Oh,
that.
well, big whoop. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. So I mean, and the Onion had a pretty good article about this the other day. I don't know if
oh, I
you're-
didn't
I
see
actually
it.
I
Fuck.
thought about
Okay.
the quotes were quite funny with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're all from like girls from age 8 to 21. It's just like it's just this thing that's taken over. I mean, I think I told you about the Nirvana shirt
White
she was
girls
wearing.
explain why they love
Yes, that's
Stanley
it.
Cup.
Yes, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
All right. Reading
Anyway,
that later.
anyway, go ahead, Beth.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, it's
No,
weird.
that's really all I had about that. So apparently, some woman stole $2,500 worth of them, which actually looks like quite a few. I
Wow.
mean, that's
It
a
seems like a lot. I mean, I think
It
they're.
does seem like a lot.
I don't know
that's a
how much they
decent
are,
amount.
but I assume they're like
These
30
like I think
bucks.
they've actually misrepresented because looking at these, I think they're like kind of all what general sort of insulated thermal. Yeah, so they've been kind of missing over there. But anyway, what's next? I'm not going to steal this one. I've got a follow up to a story that Dawson dibbed. And if you
Oh,
ever
thanks.
wondered what our editorial process is, it is a process of dibs. And
It
Dawson got
is.
it.
It is. It is.
So,
Fantastic.
so
Thanks,
this
Smith.
was no problem, no problem. So this was from earlier this week. Elon Musk demands 25% voting control of Tesla before expanding AI. Here's why investors are spooked. So
Wow.
basically, this is actually really interesting. So Elon Musk, well, it's probably been about a year ago, cashed out a bunch of Tesla shares because he used to have what I think they consider like a voting majority. I think he's down to like 15%. Now he's asking to get up to 25% so he can basically still sort of be in
Be in
charge.
charge.
And
Yeah.
he sold a lot of his Tesla stock to buy Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, uh, and so and that company has lost a lot of money. But
Uh-huh.
he's essentially demanding that unless Tesla increases his vote shares, he's going to basically take his AI, which includes the automatic, what do they call FSD, full self driving with Tesla, which Tesla's been selling consumers for about 9 years now, that their
Doesn't
cars are
work.
eventually going to drive themselves.
Yeah.
And so this is just a really interesting thing. And I wasn't going to mention this, but today Tesla's stock took about a 13% dive, and it's about
Oh
30, and it's
shit.
lost about 35% of its value under since January, since the first of the year.
That's good news for you,
So
Duff.
I think,
Yes, it is. Guess what I'm doing
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah.
Hey.
Absolutely, it's good news, and it's again, this is increasing competition from China. There's a BRT. I'm forgetting the name of the. Do you know, Dawson? There's a big electric car manufacturer in China that basically outsold Tesla in total units produced last year.
Yeah, I'm aware of them, but
Yeah,
to be honest, we haven't recruited too many of those people. I'm
yeah.
not supposed to talk about what I do.
Well, then we
Erase
will not.
that. Erase that.
Okay.
Producers.
We
No,
don't.
it's fine.
I
but
barely understood it myself. So.
yeah, but no, it's just interesting. There's a lot of competition, and also people are buying less electric cars.
Yeah.
That's
they're
true.
not buying them because they realize that they're kind of a pain in the ass still, and also they're twice
Part
as
of my
expensive to
headache
damage.
this week.
And that's what a lot of people I don't understand is that like electric cars are costing up to about 3 times to insure now through
Yeah.
major insurance companies because they're super expensive to repair. Like if you have like a fender bender, they can So anyway, it's really interesting to see that story pan out, and it lost a lot of value. And he does look good in a bomber jacket, though. Like he just
Look at him. Wow. Is that Tom
tells it.
Cruise or Elon Musk?
It's really hard to tell.
Wow.
Guessing in the wrong light, I could make the wrong decision.
Have you guys seen those memes where there's a major push on the internet for Kathy Bates to play Elon Musk in a biopic?
No, I would watch
And they
that.
do these side by sides, and actually, it looks pretty good.
I
So
like
I'm
the
on
idea.
it. I can see it.
Yeah.
And now I'm at to pull up the list here for this one. So give me just a second.
I was just thinking about him in that bomber jacket, like highway to the bankrupt zone.
Oh, Tice,
I
wait
like
for
it.
it.
I like it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You should definitely record that.
That's the kind of thing that we.
I would love to help write the lyrics to that.
Yep, absolutely.
Things like that split our house in half.
So I think this comes out of Quebec, out of Quebec, Canada. Is that right? And they're Canadian.
Yeah,
something.
Theoretically,
And apparently, this is a list that I think it was an elementary school teacher posted on the Twitter that kind of went viral this week, and it was basically a list of sort of words and phrases that were banned in this woman's classroom. Now, I remember having like our own kind of lingo, when we were younger. They're not a lot though. Like I remember we had our like. Do you happen to guys ever remember like any of your like I remember like psych was like a big one.
I think cool beans was being floated around.
Was one.
Yeah, cool beans. That's about it. Those two.
You
That's
can,
right. That's what we did.
Yeah, I'll have to,
That's
yeah.
what we did. So anyway,
you can't handle the truth. That was big for a
so
while.
that was, yeah. We probably I'm sure.
My
Oh God,
my
like people.
wife. Anyway, sorry. Go
I feel sorry, and oh my God, and like during like the Chappelle Show years, like somebody, oh my
ahead.
Oh
God,
God,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
horror, horror, horror. Uh, So this was the list, and I just wanted to read these. And so I'm just going to read. This is the memo that these words / sayings are prohibited in my classroom. I'm going to take my glasses off. That's embarrassing. So we're going to say, hey, up close and personal. Look at this.
Yeah,
Read my script.
do
Hey, look at
it.
that.
Go ahead.
If you are caught using any of these words, you will have to write a short essay explaining why you chose to use these words in an academic setting to express yourself. There are many ways to articulate what you need to say without using slang. Please know that using slang as an academic setting can diminish your capability to become a successful writer. More often than not, the way you speak is the way you will write. That's fair. That's actually a
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good point. That's actually good.
For
I kind
sure.
of like this. I kind of like this woman.
that's
The
why.
gibberish some of you choose to use is improper English and sometimes inappropriate for the academic setting. This is an educational institution, and you will carry yourself as scholars in my classroom!
Ooh.
Exclamation mark. So yes. So anyway, so there are 32. I'm just going to run through them real quick, if you don't
Yeah,
mind,
do
and
it.
see
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
what. So
absolutely.
number one, I completely agree with. Knowing, kind of kids under the age of 10, bruh,
Bruh. Yeah.
as
Bruh,
an
yeah.
abbreviated.
Yeah.
We bro was too formal, I guess. So we
Yeah.
with bruh. Now, most of these I've never heard of, so I'm very curious if any of you have encountered them. Number two, standing on business, or SOB.
No.
Either never. Okay.
Son of a bitch,
Well, yes,
SOB,
son
but
of a
not.
bitch, but standing on business.
I've not heard that. That's a
I don't
new
know.
one.
Listeners,
Yeah.
if you have any clue, talk to your kids, ask them.
Yeah.
Like,
Please.
I would
We have
actually
no kids. Ask them.
apps them. Number three, ooh wee ski.
Oh,
Pass.
I
No.
think that's a Rick and Morty reference actually.
Okay,
Is it?
maybe.
I think
Oh.
so.
Number four by itself is just ski ye, SKEE dash YEE, ski ye. Number six, you ate that up.
Okay.
Number six, that's cap.
Nope.
Number seven, what's up, gang? I mean, that's
That
like
seems reasonable.
that does seem
That's
reasonable,
fine.
right? That seems like a scrum leader. Like, yeah, like I could see
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Number
Yep.
eight is bet, which apparently bet means like yes or affirmative now. That one I
Oh.
actually did know for
Oh,
some ungodly reason, but yeah, bet. I don't know.
you're
Okay.
cooler than us, Smith.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently. Oh my God, Miss T, which that I can kind of say
All
on.
right. I get that. Yeah.
I get
That's,
that
yeah.
too. I get that too. On God, I've never heard that. On God. Number 11, on my mama.
I'm using that from now
I
on,
kept kind of
actually.
like on my mama.
On my
And then
mama.
number 12 is probably my favorite. On my dead, and then in parentheses, mom, dad, aunt, cousin, any family member, friend, or associate. So yes, so
I
on
kind
my
of love
dead,
these kids.
I do too. Number 13 is Riz,
Oh,
Rizz.
I have heard Riz
Okay.
for charisma, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's right.
right. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
have actually, I've
Think.
been previously informed about that, and I just chose to
Yes.
ignore it.
As
What's
you
up,
should.
number 14? What up, G Wade?
She
Um,
Wade.
G Wade, WADE.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Number 15, in the cut with my twin,
Oh.
which I don't even know what that
I
means, but I think I'm
don't
going to start using it for just like
know.
in the cut with my twin. Number 16, just vibe, which I guess I
Eh,
understand what that
Eh.
means. Number 17 is Giat, Gyat, as a single word.
Giat.
No idea. Giat.
Giat? What does that mean?
I have no
Text, are you
idea.
looking it up?
Oh, I was thinking that I think one of the housewives of some place is named Giat, but I don't. That's probably
Could
not
be.
right.
That could be the origin.
Probably.
What do they call
Could.
the study of words and the when the history of
The three words.
the origins of words? Yeah, yeah. When we've reached the housewives, we know that we've failed as a society.
We have
Yes. Well, we
18,
have.
on bro,
on bro. It's like
on
on point,
bro.
but
Number
bro.
19 is on hood. Number 20 is gang gang.
Gang gang.
Number
Gang gang?
That's like
gang
gang.
gang. Number 21, I'm actually not allowed to say, and it's actually funny because I've got a little spot. We were talking about dirty monitors earlier, and it's actually like my monitor is like filtering out that word I can't say. It's like the perfectly placed little dirt spot.
That's awesome.
It actually blurred out. I'm gonna take a photo for you guys. 22 on me. 23 on the set.
Well, what's wrong with saying on me? That's on me.
I guess that's like on me.
That's fine.
Like my bad. Like
yeah,
on
exactly.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I think she needs to
I
lighten
think
up a little bit.
she might be a little have her expectations might be a little
Yeah.
All our kids may be fucking awful though. So who
that's
knows?
very true. That's
true.
very
You
true.
know what? If it's the students versus the teacher, I'm gonna go with the teacher.
I would
9 times out of 10. Yeah.
I agree with you. Where we at? 24 freak, you mean? 25 period exclamation mark. I'm just like guessing that's like a period, like a
like
I'm done
end of
talking.
statement.
Yeah, I won. 26 is mun yoon. This may be there actually might be more cultures in Ontario than there
That's
are. So
true.
this 27 big dog. She did spell big dog with a DAWG, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, all right.
That's fine.
Well
Get rid of that.
Motion. This was I found interesting too. Motion and or big motion. So motion and or big motion. So I don't know what that means.
This teacher, she's not an English teacher. She's just a teacher that's like homeroom teacher.
I think that might be. I think she's just appalled.
Okay, yeah.
Using the
She's
English
just
language.
pissed.
She could be a gym coach for all we know. Just too driven too far. 29 just vibe twin, again related to the prior one. The cut with my twin, just vibe twin.
What's up with the twin stuff?
I don't know. Ironically enough, Jessica, number 30 is what's up twin. So you are hipper than you know. Number 1 is nigh.
I do use twinning too sometimes.
Twinning.
Ie
nigh. And then 32 it's giving. It's giving. Now there is a disclaimer at the bottom that does say asterisk. This list is subject to change. So don't rest your laurels on just these rules. I thought it was interesting though because I understood. I don't know. We collectively understood about 20% of that. Maybe if we tried like 40%.
Yeah.
But that means we'd have to try.
We're not completely out of touch.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we could make guesses of what these mean because I think we probably,
we get close. I don't know. We've got to figure out what this twinning thing is. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, the twin thing I'm curious about.
That unlocks like 5.
What's the cuts?
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think we're gonna once we discover one of these, we're gonna read a paragraph written by a 12-year-old, and it's all gonna
and understand all of it. Yeah. All right.
It's interesting. I mean, good. I don't know if this surprises me with I guess. It kind of does.
I mean,
because we didn't. Oh no, go ahead. I was just going to say,
go, Matt. Go talk, Matt. Go.
Good dance. No, but it's weird because you would think that kids have so much to do. We were bored as fuck in the '80s. So we would create words and and I just, I guess I'm sort of proud that kids have their own sort of linguistic.
Or say word when you understood something. That was something that was said a lot. Word.
Word was good. Yeah.
I think she's got a point if she's talking about. I think you could say all that stuff in your class, but if you wrote it into a paper,
if you're writing it down, I completely agree with you.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
So, I never wrote a paper that says it sucked to be Gandhi, or like that. But
God, could you imagine what those kids are fucking writing when they submit papers?
Oh my God, yeah. No, I retract.
That teacher's got to be fucking sitting down with a Jack Daniels.
No, I bet you're absolutely
doing
right.
breathing exercises.
I bet she's putting this, using this in papers and about Harriet Tubman. And,
she was twinning.
Yeah, they're twinning the whole time. OMG.
That is disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I retract
to be fair, that is how the English language evolves, right? I mean,
that's true. That's very true. And there's slang is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, the word cromulent is in the dictionary now. That was a made up word by The Simpsons, and like literally 1992 or something like
That's one
that.
of the better examples you could
It
use.
is a
Yeah,
better
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
example,
yeah,
way
no,
better. Yeah.
yeah, it is interesting, the whole sort of the linguistics, the whole yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the study of linguistics seems like the most like if I was gonna be like one of those like academic types, I think that's what I'd do.
the
Because that,
I
linguist.
could see
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not, so I'm not, but I
That
think
seems
that'd
like
be it.
the kind of job that like you could end and like start and end a discussion about your job right then and there. You could just be like,
Right.
"What do you do?"
Yeah.
I'm a linguist.
That's, yep.
Uh,
We're like,
all
Because
right.
I'm not.
oh,
I know what linguists do, and I still don't really understand what they
Right.
do.
I just study
yeah.
the patterns of speech and.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's a very interesting list, but very
that
interesting.
was interesting. Yeah. So
That
no,
is.
that's
Yeah.
my headlines. But yeah. So God bless that woman.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Good
Hang
luck
in
to
there,
her.
girl.
You got
Hang
it.
in there. Uh, all right. I got a couple. So this is from the Hayes Post.
Nice.
Arcade 11 bar and restaurant offer family fun and nightlife. I don't know if any listeners have been to this amazingness yet. I'm very curious about it. We were supposed to go when we were back for the holidays, but as everyone knows, we ended up getting sick and had to head back to Colorado early. So, Smith, I feel like you've been to this bar and grill that's
You've been
making
formed.
waves,
You've been formed
right?
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met up with a couple of my buddies. Kathy and I did, and we went. It is where. What did we determine? It's the location. It's by. It's on 11th Street. Is that right? Yes.
I
Is it?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
it's
it's on the corner right by the sip and spin, right?
that's yes, right. It's on
Correct?
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. It's right there. And I'm trying to remember. There have been several things in it. I remember it being a video store like way back in the day,
Yeah.
but I think it's probably been like 3 Pilates and karate studios since then.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But it's no, it was actually really fun. Like we
Pilates,
went in
karate. Yeah.
very old school, like just token based. I will literally we spent $5 in there. I went up. You get tokens. They have tokens.
That's kind of fun.
So I got
I
a
like tokens.
little paper cup with tokens, and yeah, they
I
had.
like a good barcade. I'm just curious if it's like if it has enough of the arcade part to
It's
keep
too
people.
like so. It definitely. The one thing it is not, and this is kind of one thing that I kind of immediately noticed, but most kind of effective barcades, I noticed they do kind of try to make it dark and kind of more like
Yes.
arcade feeling. And it's not that. Like it's just very bright. It feels much more like a Chuck E. Cheese
Uh,
on the inside, but you can drink.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not to compare. I don't want to compare it to Chuck E. Cheese because they had like actual video games, but it's just different. It just doesn't
Okay.
have a bar feel like most
right,
bars
right,
are.
right.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so it definitely doesn't feel like a bar. They did have like a really nice. Apparently, these are all over the place in Hayes now, but where you can buy like your beer by the ounce, and so you can like you basically get a prepaid like debit card, and you walk up to a
Oh, they
machine.
have a beer wall?
They do, yes. And so
That's
they actually,
cool.
yeah. And so that was actually, they have a full bar. I think they have kind of a smaller menu, just kind of like bar food, kind of things like that. But
Okay.
no, probably a decent collection of games. Probably, I would say 20 to 30 arcade games. And they have like skee
Not
That's
bad.
ball.
more
And
than
so,
I thought.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's it wasn't like it'd be interesting. It would be interesting. It just wasn't like, I don't know if it's set up very well as a bar. Like, and so it'd be interesting to actually like go there like with the intention of drinking and playing
Right,
games. Because it
yeah,
seemed
yeah.
much more like,
Yeah, I don't like that light situation.
and there were a
Because
lot of families,
yeah,
like, which is
that's a
cool.
mistake.
Like
Oh,
families are a
okay.
good thing, but like younger kids. So I think it didn't quite feel as bar-y as I would have. And Hayes knows
Do they
bars, so
dim
I'm
the
sure they could,
lights after 9 p.m.,
they
like
could,
the
they may,
nightlife part?
they may.
Yeah.
That would be actually my recommendation is that they
Yeah,
do like they're like the bowling alley where like they turn the night
Yeah,
glow on,
yeah.
like turn the lights off, make it get the kids out of there, you
right,
know,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, scram.
call it Adult Swim, and
Whippersnappers. Yeah.
whippersnapper. Yeah, no, but it was fun. It was good. Glad to see that something pop up in Hayes like that. So
Well, that's awesome. I'm
yeah,
all for it.
yes.
Yeah.
And I also love what did my brother say when I sent it to him? He's like, "Yay, another cool thing that Hayes got after we left." Like, yep, pretty much. Uh so keep on trucking, Hayes. All right. So my second one is from Unilad. Kanye West's $850,000 titanium dentures are
Oh God.
permanent and go beyond veneers or grills.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was
I mean,
impressive.
it's been a minute since we've talked about Kanye. But great way to start off the new year
True.
with some dumb bullshit of him paying well over $500,000 for permanent dumb dentures. Like they look terrible. Have you
They
guys
Yeah,
do
seen
look
them?
very
they look
stupid.
bad.
Yes,
Yeah,
they look very stupid.
Gross.
Right. It's like when
I
I took like a casting class, like a metal casting like thing in high school, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. Is just like somebody made these for me in their garage, and then I put them in my mouth forever. Um,
I feel like if you're in Kanye's circle, you could get him to buy all kinds of shit that wasn't worth anything. Like just by telling him that the status would be great, or I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
yeah.
I
I
actually had all my teeth capped with silver caps when I was 4 because my teeth were so bad.
When you were 4?
Yeah, so I've been
Wow,
looking
Ty's
for. I was looking for pictures of my mouth smiling uh, to respond to because Matt put up a picture of the Jaws character
it was
uh,
great.
from
But
uh, but
James Bond.
from James Bond. Yeah, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anyway, I'll keep looking for it. I know there's a couple family pictures of me with my wings. Apparently, I was quite proud of them. I don't
I would
know.
love to
That's
see
what my
that.
parents. Yeah,
Yeah, I want
We
to see
all would
that
love to
too.
see that.
it
Yeah.
looks goofy.
Please.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, we all have those pictures.
Yeah,
Uh yeah, it's just I think it's just another Kanye bullshit thing.
yeah,
He's like, "You know what? How do I throw money down the toilet this
yeah,
week? I
But
know. I'll
I will
design
say,
some fucking dentures."
yeah.
however, it did get him back in the news cycle. So
It
like
did.
That
people
is
like
true.
yeah,
That
so like
is
it
true.
is the kind of crazy bullshit that like I just need to do something crazy every 6 months and it'll keep me, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome back, Kanye. We
Yes,
missed
welcome back,
you
Kanye. We
yeah,
did.
yeah,
We
somewhat.
did. We did.
yeah.
And then my last one is our moment of zen. Jon Stewart to
Hey,
return to the
Yeah,
Daily Show as a host and executive producer.
that
Thanks,
yay.
was
CNN.
that's like the only relevant
God,
political news I've
I
heard
teared
in
up.
a
I
decade.
literally
Oh
teared
my
up.
god. Oh, I
Fantastic.
know. I know.
It's gonna be weird. Like their ratings are gonna be like, because he's only gonna do Monday, so their ratings are gonna be like huge on Monday.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
then just,
Uh,
yeah,
And that's
I'm okay with
fine.
that.
Like that's
I'm
fine.
okay.
Like,
Once a
I
oh,
week,
will,
I'm
yeah.
good
yeah,
with it.
once a week.
It's good, better than no times a week.
His poor wife,
I
when
know.
he had that conversation with her, because that was part of the deal, like him leaving. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby, you're gonna want to sit down for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
America needs Jon Stewart right now. And
Yes,
so
we do. So
I'm
thank
glad
Apparently,
you.
he's back. Yeah.
I was reading that Apple was like on his ass about his content, and that's why he couldn't do his. I don't know
That's
if you ever
right.
watched his Apple shows, but they weren't very good. And apparently, that's because Apple was all over him about what he could say, what he couldn't say,
Couldn't
who he
say,
brought
yeah.
on. You know,
Yeah.
as an executive producer and basically the guiding light of you know Daily Show forever. Really, I mean, Craig Kilborn was funny, but he wasn't John Smith. I think it's a good thing. So I agree with you guys. It's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's it. Those are my plugs.
Yay!
Or
Plugs.
headlines,
Headlines.
whatever. I feel
Headlines.
like we did that
Or-
last week too.
Oh,
So
did we? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
wait,
headline. Or
Smith,
let's.
did you say you had a follow-up to one of
Oh
my
no,
headlines?
I was just going to say
Oh,
on the Stewart thing. I read that there was an article in the Hollywood Reporter called "Inside the Top Secret Plan to Lure Jon Stewart Back to the Daily Show," and it talked about and for those that I did not follow the story closely at all, and I watched the Daily Show occasionally with Trevor Noah, but it
yeah,
was so goddamn hit or miss that I
yeah,
very much
did
so.
yeah,
not.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I like Trevor Noah's hilarious. I didn't. It just didn't always work. And Jon Stewart, it's hard to you just can't. And so
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to follow that. So apparently they did this guest host thing forever, but apparently last summer Hassan Minaj
yeah,
was basically the shoe in to get it, and everyone thought that he was, and and ultimately, I think he ran into some like sort of biographical sort of accusations, and I sort of remember this at the time it was happening, but like there were people saying that he was
Mm,
like making shit up and stuff, and so basically they at that point in time, like he was like basically like weeks away, it sounded like, from being the full time host. Then they backed out of that, and then the article kind of talks about just how they, kind of how they went through the process. And the problem is that immediately after Stewart left, and this makes complete sense, but like nobody wanted to commit to a multi-year contract. And so they gave the
Yeah.
example that Chris Rock actually wanted it immediately after Stewart left, but he was only willing to commit for a year. And that just
Oh, okay.
wasn't what they wanted. They wanted to get somebody on board who would basically do it. They wanted to build, another brand out of, I
Sure.
get
Yeah.
that. But it was actually kind of cute. They talked about how they had a meeting where they called all the staff members in after they'd either won or nominated for the Emmy, and
They won
they
because
did win.
this year they had a separate category
Right.
basically.
So
Because
John
John
Oliver
Oliver just
wins
keeps
every year.
winning year
Yeah.
after year.
Yeah.
And they joked about it. It's so funny. And then I think it's funny that they finally did it and then it still went to the Daily Show.
That's
Like,
funny,
like
yeah.
it started
They,
it all.
they
So
talked about how apparently what they had like a staff meeting, called everybody in to just kind of announce they'd won the Emmy or had been not one of the two. And they had Jon Stewart just came up and showed up and he was like, "Oh, we've got some news for you." And John's
that's
back,
cool.
and everybody was
Aw.
happy because everybody, yeah. So good thing to see. So
I love that man. I'm so happy about it. I worry about his mental health, but
that's
he
all
can
right.
help
That's
us
all
with
right.
ours.
He's sacrificing
Yeah.
his mental health for ours.
One
Absolutely.
day a week seems legit. He
It's
can
way
try.
better than
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh,
last time.
absolutely,
That's
and
true.
and it's nice too because hopefully he'll have free like kind of over the weekend or like he'll be able to. It's a good slot. I think it'll
It
be
is.
interesting to see what they do with the remainder of the show. Like it's going to be kind of I'm sure that's going to be kind of an
They just
interesting
play
situation.
cartoons. Oh, I don't know. This is why I'm not a real producer. Anyway, shall we get to plugs?
Sure.
Okay.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Oh, so emotional. So one of the things I wanted to do now that I'm on bed rest, theoretically, is there's a show on Adult Swim called Venture Brothers. It's sort of a knockoff of Johnny Quest, but it's way, way, way deeper than that, and very funny. Anyway, when Warner Brothers got bought by Discovery just canceled most of their animated shows. They're just like, nope,
Uh-huh.
for kids, for adults, for everybody, they just canceled all of them. And anyway, so the Venture Brothers were allowed to do a movie which sort of wrapped up all the things. So 7 seasons and a movie, just like Humanity is going to be. So anyway, I watched all of it from top to bottom, and then I watched the episode, or I watched the movie, and I liked it. It was a lot to fit in an hour and a half of years of plot lines, but they did a nice job. Now, on the other hand, we watched Aquaman 2 last night, whatever that's fucking called. I can't remember what it has. That's not like Savior of the Deep, or I have no idea. Anyway, it is legit awful. I knew it was
Is
gonna be.
it?
I knew it was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be bad because it failed so many uh, test audiences like 5 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like they recut stuff, and basically it comes off as I don't know even how to explain it. It's like too much, but stupid. And like I mean, there's hints of Roadhouse in there. There's hints of I don't know, like one of George Lucas's prequel Star Wars movies. I mean, it's too much, and
Oof.
yeah, it's so anyway. You should watch it.
Wait, are you plugging it or are
No,
you
no,
unplugging
that's
it?
an unplug. Yeah, no,
Okay.
unplug that
Okay.
shit.
I just wanted to
For
clarify.
legal reasons, we have to be very clear to that
Well,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so the director is John Wan or Wan or John Wan, and he's done
What
mostly
has he
horror.
done?
He's done mostly horror movies, like he did Insidious, and he did uh, uh, Anyway, he's a good director, but you could tell that he didn't give a shit about this. Like he was just like, I just gotta get through this. So anyway, so don't watch that. That's pretty awful. Unless you love Jason Momoa so much that if he does little pity
And the
pattern.
ladies do.
Yeah, our friend went and saw it in the theater, and she's like, it was terrible, but he was pretty. Uh,
I
so
think Patrick Wilson is in it too, right?
he
And
is. He
your
is.
favorite Nicole Kidman, isn't she in it too?
She is in it. Everybody from the first movie is in it too. Amber Heard's in it. That was a big deal.
Mm.
People were trying to
Mhm.
get her out of it because of Johnny Depp backlash. Anyway, it was. I can't really explain how bad it is, but we just kept watching it and being like, "This is really terrible," you know. So,
Yeah. Train wreck. Yeah.
so I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm excited to. So I'll be listening to it tomorrow. New Green Day record.
Oh,
Oh.
sweet.
Here's why I'm very excited to listen to it is because if you see right here, it says produced by, and Rob Cavallo produced Dookie, Nimrod. He did the first 3 records.
Oh.
But the big thing right here is who it's mixed by, which is a guy named Chris Lord Alge, who is my favorite engineer working today. So it will sound excellent, even if the songs aren't great. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to listen to that. The other thing, my other plug, you'll have to look it up on the internet. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's a song called "Please Don't Go Topless, Mother." And it's an old 45 sung by this gentleman named Troy Hess. And basically, he's begging his mother, who's a go go dancer, not to take her top off. She's better than that. And we don't need the money that bad.
Age old tale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's I don't like to spoil it, but I think more people will listen to it if I tell you something a little bit about Troy Hess. Troy Hess is like a 10-year-old boy singing this song to his mother. So imagine a child singing a song to his topless mother, and it's glorious.
Is
That's
this
all I
from
have to
like
say.
the 40s or 90s? When was this
This would
from?
be like late 60s.
Late 60s. Okay. All right.
It is a country song for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I think on one of your late night DJ sessions, you sent it to us, Tice. Pretty
yep.
sure.
Please Don't Go Topless Mother, sung by Troy Hess. I don't know that he's done anything else since then, but boy, he knocked it out of the park right out of the bat.
It really wasn't.
So anyway, I don't have a lot of plugs. That's it. I've been mostly watching weird science stuff on TV and Venture Brothers. So anyway, next.
Nice.
Next.
Smith.
I suppose that's me. We got our pattern. We got our pattern down.
Yeah, we got it.
New, as always, I'm a sucker for any Netflix true crime documentary series.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. I hope I know.
So yeah, I think you probably do, because I know you're a sucker for them too. And this
Yep.
one is called American Nightmare.
On mine as well.
Yeah,
my
it
friend.
is about Denise Huskins and her husband Aaron Quinn. I don't know how much to say about this one. It's basically about a couple who, a woman who is abducted and her husband that is tied up, and the circumstances sound very fishy. And I kind of need to leave it at that because it is, it's quite good.
Infuriating.
Yes, yes. It is really sort of. I have decided that true crime is great, but I think what I really appreciate true crime is like incompetent cop stories. And like
Me
I
too.
just
That is its
love.
own category.
Yes,
Fucking
yes.
A.
Like, and so this is one of those tales where it's just infuriating as hell, and about what how this case was, and it's really interesting. So I'm not. I mean, it's not like the best true crime documentary, but I'd say it's like probably
not, but
mid-range Netflix sort of.
Yeah.
If I had to compare it to something, I'm trying
it's
to think.
better than Natalia Speaks, I would say.
Yes, it was. It was certainly better than Natalia Speaks. But again, Natalia Speaks its own bit of genius, which everyone should watch.
Yeah, it's true.
It's, you can't disqualify a film by good filmmaking, and I wouldn't start there. The next one we went to a play last night, and we went to go see To Kill a Mockingbird, which was on Broadway touring company. And it's starring Richard Thomas, who most people will know as John Boy from Little House on the Prairie. Is that right? Not Little. Is that right? The
I don't know.
Waltons. Never mind. The Waltons. Yes, I think it was from the Waltons. So anyway, everyone knows who. If you look up John Boy, it's anyway. Really, really good. Like, it was fantastic. Written by Aaron
Nice.
Sorkin. Just
Oh shit! Yeah.
like scant under 3 hours, but just really engaging. Very funny. This is like the first, like, I think, real play I've been to since I saw something on Broadway when I went to New York on my senior trip. So
No
it's been a
shit.
long time since I've seen like we saw Book of Mormon, but that was kind of a different kind of thing. But it was just really, really impressive. The young woman who played Scout, her real name was Scout something, so it's something like she probably was named after. But actually, other interesting thing was the woman who played Scout in the '62 movie. Is also on with this touring company, is playing one of the older
That's
ladies,
cool.
which was
That's
awesome
neat.
as hell. Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
really good. I looked to see if it was in any of your locations right now, and it's not. I am
Go
again
figure.
not a big play person, but it was just really cool. Just really enjoyed it.
It's badass.
There's something there about the theater. I'm not going to go any further than that, but there's something there. It's got something, some kind of some level of magic, and god damn it, just so like you just compare that to like how TVs and movies are produced, and the acting ability of those people is just phenomenal. Like,
Yeah,
it's just, you
It
have to be
is.
perfect.
Hands down.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a really, really well done. Funny too. Like, I think that was kind of the most interesting thing about it. But I think it's necessary to like kind of get through the story. So it is humorous. Like, it's not just
Yeah.
dry and sad the whole time. So no, if you happen, it sounds like they are expanding tour dates soon. So yeah, if you get the opportunity or hear about it, I would highly recommend it. And I think that's it. That's all I got.
Very nice. Very
I'm a
nice.
man of the performing arts now, so it's
I guess so.
new
You're
day,
very sophisticated,
new
Smith.
day. We actually sat in the balcony, like sort of like those old men on the Muppets, like kind of the
Oh, right,
overhanging
yeah.
balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Oh, you
never
had
done
like
that
your
before.
own box
Yeah, well, it
area,
wasn't like our own,
seating.
but it was like on the side. There's just kind of a narrow strip, and so
Did you wear a tux? Did you like get fancy?
I did not. I wore a fleece.
That's fine.
Oh,
I wore a
That's a
fleece. Yeah.
that's a Midwestern tux. So,
It's a Midwestern tux. That's right. It's a Midwestern tux. That was very nice.
that's hilarious.
Lovely,
Oh my
lovely,
god.
very overpriced drinks and snacks. But
Oh,
other than
really?
that,
How much were the drinks, by the way? Because
like
that's all. When my friends go to plays and Broadway shows in New York, that's all I hear is just the
so.
bitching about
So
it.
keep in mind, this is in Indianapolis, Indiana. So there's really no excuse for this. But I think a single mixed drink was like 13, a double was like 18 or 19, and then we got like a little box of popcorn. You know, like they'd sell in the gym for like, hey, we're having an event in the
right,
gym.
yeah,
Here's some
yeah,
popcorn.
Yeah.
That you would have paid like 50 or 75, $7.
Wow.
So a little, yeah. So there weren't a lot of people snacking. I think it
Yeah.
was, but no, it was really fun. Really, really had not. I would see more plays. I think I'm not a musical guy, so
Yeah.
but I would see like a
I'm not
straight
a
play.
yeah. I get it.
Anyway.
That's my one regret because there was what was it? I saw Judith Light on Broadway and she was doing Other Desert Cities. And it was one of those things where I was like blown away by her as an actress in general, but like to see her on stage, I was like, I need to see more plays. And then that idea went out the fucking window. So, regret.
It
We all
happens.
have them. Yeah.
It happens.
Whatever. All right. My first plug, Tice. Prepare to be proud of me.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I watched an entire animated series on Netflix and
Wow.
liked it.
Okay. Was it?
That's
was
me patting myself on the back.
Good for you. Was it the?
Thank you.
Is it the?
You want to guess?
At the end of the world. What's her name? At the end of the
You
world.
got it. Yeah.
I watched
Carol in the End of the World.
I watched the
Have you watched that?
I watched the first episode and I did like it. How many episodes are there?
10, I
Okay.
believe.
It's
great.
it looked.
And a part of it, it was because like Bridget Everett is one of the voices in it. I was like, fucking love her, so I'm into it.
But she's not the main character. She
is not.
No,
She's her sister. She plays her sister
Oh, okay. Oh,
in
okay,
it.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But it's a cool idea. I like so the whole premise of it is there's this woman named Carol, and it's the end of the world scenario. There is a planet that is headed to Earth, and it's going to make impact, and they count down by months, and it progressively like gets like sooner and sooner to impact. And nobody's working anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and they really go there, and the animation is really cool. It's kind of dark and depressing, which whatever. Some people are going to be like, Jesus, Dawson, like, come on, stop watching that shit right before bed. But like, I really enjoy it. There are really funny parts to it. There are really like heartwarming parts to it. The woman who plays Carol, I didn't write down her name. I should have. I apologize, but
Well, she was in
it's fantastic.
she was in The Last of Us, and I think she was also in the Baskets, that FX show with Zach
Oh, you're
Galifianakis.
right. Yes, 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 yes.
But I
Yeah.
can't. Her name escapes me too. But yeah,
Um,
it was weirdly funny. I did laugh out loud a couple times, but it's not a funny story per se. But
it's not.
it's
But I think it's interesting how, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but she
yeah,
starts out kind of being a loner, and then it goes from there. Um into various
yeah. Well,
like her parents and that whole thing. Like,
yeah, that was
yeah, really funny.
well. I
Check it
think
out.
yeah, I would
I
say
think
that.
people will like it.
I think like so like her deal is that everybody knows the world's going to end, and at least initially the way she deals with it is just to keep life up the way it's always been. Like
Sure. Yeah.
she's trying to get a dental appointment. The dentist is left to go fucking go to New Zealand, and no one's working, and everybody so
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of it. Look good. So I'm
Smith,
glad you
I
liked it.
think you would like it too. Like, I know we're
Yeah,
both on the
what was the
same
name of
page.
it again? What's the name of it again?
It's called Carol and the End of the World.
Okay. And was it like an American production, or who? What kind
Yeah.
of it is American.
American production. It's on Netflix.
The creator is one of the guys from Rick and Morty, but it's not
Okay.
Morty-ish. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
I think's his name.
I too will make you proud one day, Jason.
You dressed up as Starburns for Halloween, so you already did.
I've been
You're
skating
forever
on
in Texas heart.
Yeah,
no.
you'll get that. That's a good 2-year pass. Usually, so you're good.
And then yes, Smith talked about the True Doc miniseries, American Nightmare. I enjoyed it, but it also pissed me off. So maybe not watch it that as well before bed, because
Yeah,
probably impeding on my sleep a little bit. And then there's a reality competition show on the Peacock
Yeah.
called Traders. And season 2 just started, and Alan Cumming is the host. And that right there should tell you. That man is fucking fabulous. I love him. He is perfect as the host. All of the contestants, if you're not familiar with Traders, because there's like the Australian version, I think there's like the UK version, there's various versions of it. Have you guys watched it? Have you watched any of the episodes?
We watched the first 3 episodes this last week, and it was fine. It still is a reality TV show, but like I said, this what I told Beth. I was like, if there was just more Alan Cumming in this, it would be better, because he kind of comes in, he introduces something, and he's charming, and he's dressed, like Alan Cumming, but anyway, but yeah. So did the entire second season drop?
It did. Well, no, not the entire second season. They dropped the first 3 episodes, and now it's coming out like I think every Thursday, could be Wednesday. Jonas and I are big fans. We will sit there and just strategize, and like, especially Jonas, like I really think he could, like, if they get off of the reality stars doing it, he should go into it, because like he'll just go off on a tangent about strategy, and then we'll just talk about it for
that was one of my
way too long.
That was one of my things I didn't like about the show, at least initially. It was like, it's impossible to tell who the trader is and who's not, because there's too many people. Like, and
right. But I think the genius in that, Tice, is because because at first I was like, why are they just having reality stars on there?
Yeah.
And it's because they're just fucking dumb, vapid people.
Yeah.
And the way that they get so certain about
somebody
one person being a trader, and then they're wrong consistently is really, it gives me joy. It gives me hope. Like, I fucking love it.
Well,
I
this is
love watching these wash ups continue to screw up. It's
well, this
great.
maybe okay. So maybe this gets better. This is my other problem with it. So the traders have to work with the non-traders to make money. So the traders
Yes.
will make money. So whoever outlasts who gets the big pot, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 traders and let's say 17 or 16 non-traders.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's no incentive for anyone to throw a challenge, at least at this point, because everybody wants to get the money.
Yeah.
I had a problem with that because I was like, well, how do you? I mean, what's the point? Everybody's gonna just try to work together. How are you gonna know who's a traitor, who's not? Obviously, I need to watch the rest of the show. I guess we're gonna watch the
You
rest of
do.
the show after this is over.
You
Yeah,
should totally watch
yeah.
it.
All right,
It'll all come together.
I'll tell Beth.
And this is like a
The bottom line is, if you just want to watch trashy fucking reality TV stars, quote unquote,
Yeah,
go after each other in a whole different way, do challenges together, try to. I find it hilarious. I'm a big fan of it. So, yeah, highly entertaining. And then there's a newish podcast. I think it started coming out late last year, called Senses Working Overtime with David Cross. And you can watch the episodes on YouTube. I think Headgum produces it. But basically, he has these long conversations with his friends in comedy. So, like with Janine Garofalo, Bob Odenkirk, the one with Mark Maron. I don't know. Mark anymore, I can't stand because he's just so just crotchety and like, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. But one of the newest ones is with Joe Firestone. And
Oh
I
yeah,
know, Tice, you love her, right?
yeah, I do.
Like,
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
oh my God. Smith, but they riff the entire time, just bullshitting each other. And it is one of the funniest things like I have seen in a long time. Hilarious. She is kind of a genius. And David loves her. And like the way that they riff off each other, I highly recommend that episode. Even if you don't watch the rest of them, it's my favorite. And I love Janine Garofalo, but like Janine's a little crotchety now too. And
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's great. Quite funny. So
I'm
check it
gonna
out.
I'm gonna listen to anything that's named after an ecstasy song. So that's fantastic. Good name for a podcast.
I love
Kudos to
it.
him,
And
yeah.
then at the end of it, he asks them a question from his daughter. And
Oh,
they're
that's fun.
completely random and very cute. And it's just kind of cool to see David as like an older guy, a dad. He talks a little shit about his wife, Amber Tamblyn, who's like
20
fucking
years
feminist extreme. Yeah, 20 years younger. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. That's about it. I feel like I had an unplug, but I can't remember what that was.
I'll definitely look into that. That sounds good. I do
like that's the weird thing is I probably have like 17 unplugs a week, and I don't write them down. Like,
yeah,
I don't
like
either. I'm just
a lot of stuff I don't like through the week, and I just forget about it.
It's got to be so bad though for me to even remember.
That is true. That is true. It actually has to be not only bad but interestingly bad.
Yeah,
there's a lot of boring bad out there. A lot of boring bad, but
yeah. I mean, like Aquaman. I wouldn't even mention it, but it is real bad.
It hurt you. It hurt you, and
it didn't hurt me. I didn't really like the first one that much, but I was like, these poor test audiences. I would love to see the first cut of this terrible fucking movie. So maybe it was maybe the first cut was better than this. I don't know.
Oh man.
Sorry. I think we got the flu hanging out of our house.
Oh no!
No.
Yeah, don't worry.
Get rid of it.
I wore a mask. It's an invisible mask. You guys won't be hurt. It's fine.
Nobody's catching that. Oh man. Make some chicken noodle soup.
That's right. Eat some soup.
That's
Gatorade Zero. Lots of hot tea.
Yeah, I'll do something.
I fucking hate it. All right. We'll feel better, Tice.
Absolutely. We'll be praying for you. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thoughts and prayers.
The least you can do. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
The absolute least you can do is pray for me.
I'm already done. That's how.
Yeah, exactly.
On to the next thing.
You could Venmo me a nickel and be worth more than your prayers. Jesus Christ. Sorry, everybody. Sorry,
Hey,
Christian.
go buy yourself a can of soup.
I'll take it.
I think you might be on like prayer mo. We can just sort of cash directly send. Oh, that
Oh my God!
I might not have
Yes.
said that out loud. Prayer
Okay,
mo.
no one. Doodaloo. Nope, didn't hear anything. Copyright that shit. All right.
I will.
Just
Always a pleasure, guys.
Register the name. Okay.
Absolutely. Promo.
Hey.
God
All
bless
right.
the economy.
Yay.
Yes.
Bye.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.